This podcast is brought to you by the Senior Techie, a source of information for seniors and others about technology. You know, we all have those spots in our home we don't think about. The back of a closet, maybe the utility room.
Right.
And things like smoke detectors, the water heater, they're completely out of sight, out of mind until they're not.
Exactly. And suddenly you've got a disaster, a fire, a huge leak.
Right. And these big problems, the ones that can be financially crushing or even, life-threatening, they either sneak up slowly or they hit when you are completely unprepared.
And that's exactly why we're doing this today. We want to cut through all the noise around smart home tech, specifically what they call IoT or Internet of Things, safety devices.
To really figure out which ones give you the most bang for your buck.
Yeah, the biggest benefit. Whether that's saving money, preventing a disaster, or, and this is the big one, actual life-saving features. Yeah. And to do it without making the tech feel, overwhelming.
So what's the core idea here for our listeners? What's the promise?
Think of them as high-tech watchdogs, except they never sleep.
Yeah.
They're monitoring your home 24/7. They're designed to spot the small problems before they turn into, a catastrophe.
So they turn a crisis into just a notification.
That's the goal. It takes a situation that could be financially ruinous, like a flood, or truly life-threatening, like a fall, and it just transforms it into a manageable emergency you can deal with right away, even if you're not home.
Okay, let's unpack this with the first threat, and it's one I think most people underestimate: water damage.
Oh, yeah.
If you ask someone what the biggest threat to their home is, they'll probably say fire. But the Senior Techie highlights this really shocking statistic.
That water leaks actually cause more damage.
Way more.
It's a huge problem. I mean, insurance companies are handling over 1 million water damage claims every single year.
1 million.
Yeah.
The average cost it's huge, right?
About $11,000
Yeah.
per claim. I mean, that is a massive and total unnecessary financial hit for someone.
$11,000?
Yeah.
That's genuinely scary, especially when you think about it. You're trusting a 15-year-old appliance hidden behind a wall?
Exactly. And that's why it's a particular concern for older adults. It goes right back to that out of sight, out of mind problem.
Because you're not checking on it every day.
Right. Leaks are often slow. They're hidden. If you're not going down to the basement often or checking behind the washer, a leak can go on for weeks. By the time you smell that musty odor, you're not just fixing plumbing.
You're dealing with mold.
You're dealing with mold remediation, structural repairs, and that's where the cost just explodes.
So what's the simple entry-level solution here?
The easiest place to start is a basic leak sensor. These are cheap, maybe $50. You just place it on the floor right next to your water heater, under a sink, by the washing machine.
And if it gets wet?
If it detects even a tiny bit of moisture, boom, an alert goes straight to your phone. You catch a small drip immediately.
And you turn an $11,000 problem into what, a $50 plumber visit?
That's the idea. It's an incredible return on investment.
Now, I've heard about systems that are a bit smarter, that
Yeah.
don't just wait for a puddle, but actually monitor the water flow itself. How do those work?
That's the next level up. That's whole home monitoring. And it's fascinating because it's predictive.
Predictive.
Yeah, a system like, say, Flow by Moen, it learns your home's normal water usage patterns. It figures out your baseline.
So it knows when I shower, when the dishwasher runs.
Exactly. It goes through a little learning period. So if all of a sudden it detects 50 gallons of water being used at 2 a.m. when everyone's asleep, it knows something's wrong.
And it sends an alert.
It sends an alert, and some can even be set to automatically shut off the main water valve to the house if you don't respond.
Okay, so moving from water, but let's talk about the dangers we can't see. Fire, carbon monoxide, gas. The problem with traditional alarms is, they only work if you can hear them.
That is their key limitation, absolutely. Smart detectors are different because they connect to your phone over Wi-Fi.
So you get the alert no matter where you are.
Exactly. Take a brand like Kid. Their smart detector doesn't just make a loud noise. It tells your phone which room has the problem and what kind of problem it is.
Smoke in the kitchen versus carbon monoxide in the basement.
Precisely. So if you're out at the grocery store, you know exactly what's happening and you can call for help immediately.
And carbon monoxide, or CO.
Mm-hmm.
It's maybe the scariest one. It's odorless, colorless.
And deadly. And the key difference with a smart detector is consciousness.
What do you mean?
A standard CO alarm relies on you being conscious enough to hear it and get out. But if the CO builds up while you're sleeping, you might never wake up.
Right.
A smart detector, because it's linked to your phone, can be set up to call 911 automatically if it detects dangerous levels and you don't acknowledge the alert. It assumes you're incapacitated and sends help. It's a literal lifesaver.
That one feature alone is just, it's a game changer.
Mm.
Let's pivot to gas detection. This is something the Senior Techie points out has a unique challenge for seniors.
It does, and it's physiological. You know that rotten egg smell they add to natural gas so you can detect a leak?
Of course.
Well, our sense of smell can diminish as we get older. For many seniors, that essential safety barrier, it just isn't there anymore. They might not smell a leak at all.
Wow. I had never even considered that. So a smart detector bypasses that completely.
It does. It digitally smells for natural gas, propane, methane, and it sounds a loud alarm while also sending that critical alert to your phone. Some can even automatically shut off the gas valve.
I love that idea of getting clear information instead of just a terrifying siren.
That's why the ones at Talk are so helpful. There's a system, First Alert One Link, that combines all three: smoke, CO, and gas, and it speaks to you. Warning: carbon monoxide detected in the utility room. In a panic, that clarity is priceless.
This brings up a really important question about personal safety, which for a lot of our listeners is the biggest reason to even look at this tech. I'm talking about falls.
Yes.
The numbers are staggering. Falls are the leading cause of injury death for adults over 65.
And this is where these devices are so much more than just gadgets. They fundamentally change the outcome of a bad fall. They take what could be an isolating, life-threatening event.
Falling when you're alone.
Exactly. And they turn it into a guaranteed managed emergency.
So what are we talking about here? Is it just those pendants?
Well, there are a couple of main ways. One is something like an Apple Watch. If you're wearing one and you take a hard fall, it notices. It asks if you're okay if you don't respond in 60 seconds.
It calls for help.
It automatically calls emergency services and even shares your location. Then you have the dedicated devices, like from Medical Guardian. It's usually a pendant or a wristband, and it connects you 24/7 to a live operator.
But what if you fall or have some other emergency and you can't reach your phone? You can't press a button.
That's where smart speakers become so incredibly valuable.
Alexa, Google Home.
Yep. They're listening for your voice, so even if you're on the floor, you can just say, Alexa, call 911, or hey, Google, call my daughter. They can be a lifeline.
And Amazon just added a paid service for this, right?
They did. It's called Alexa Emergency Assist. For a few dollars a month, saying, Alexa, call for help, connects you to a trained agent who dispatches first responders and stays on the line with you until they arrive.
Okay, let's move from immediate safety to security and just day-to-day peace of mind. I think everyone has had that feeling. You're driving away from the house and that thought hits you.
Did I lock the back door?
Exactly, that nagging anxiety.
Smart locks were basically invented for that feeling. A lock from August, for example, lets you just pull out your phone, check the status, and lock it remotely.
That's huge.
It is. And for seniors who might have caregivers or family coming and going, it also keeps a log of who entered and when, which gives you a great deal of awareness.
What about simple perimeter security? Do you have to install a whole camera system?
Not at all. You can start really simple, tiny little magnetic contact sensors. Brands like Aquara make them. You just stick them on your doors and windows.
And they tell you if one is opened.
Immediately. You can set them to be silent during the day, but at night, you get an instant notification. It's targeted security without feeling like you're in a fortress.
Now, older motion detectors were notorious for false alarms. A branch blowing, a cat.
Oh, the alert fatigue was terrible. They're so much better now.
Oh.
It's AI, artificial intelligence. Modern cameras from Ring or Arlo can tell the difference between a person, an animal, or a car, so you only get the alerts that actually matter.
And smart lighting plays into this too, right? For both safety and security.
It's a fantastic dual-purpose tool. For safety, think about getting up in the middle of the night.
Tripping in the dark.
Right. Motion-activated lights, like Philips Hue, can be set to turn on to, say, 30% brightness, just enough to see your way to the bathroom without blinding you.
And for security.
It creates the illusion that you're home. Burglars look for dark, empty houses. You can schedule your lights to turn on and off in different rooms randomly while you're away. It makes the house look lived in. It's a simple, effective deterrent.
Okay, this is a ton of information. For the listener who's thinking, where do I even start? How do you avoid just getting overwhelmed?
Start small. The Senior Techie advises you to just pick the single biggest risk in your home and solve for that first.
So if you have an old water heater, maybe start with a leak sensor.
Exactly. Or if your furnace is old, maybe a CO and gas detector is priority number one. The setup for these things is usually pretty quick, maybe an hour for one device. Then they work in the background.
Let's talk cost. We know a sensor is cheaper than an $8,000 flood, but what about the monthly fees?
This is the best part. For the core functionality, getting those alerts on your phone, most of these devices have no monthly fees at all.
That's a huge difference from traditional security systems.
A massive difference. Those systems can be $45, $60 a month. Over 5 years, that's thousands of dollars.
Right.
With a self-monitored IoT system, you have the upfront cost of the hardware, and that's often it. You own it.
Now for the absolute non-negotiable part,
Yeah.
privacy and security. What are the must-dos?
Okay, 3 things. 1, stick with reputable brands. Ring, Nest, SimpliSafe. Companies with a lot to lose if they get it wrong.
Makes sense.
2, the basics. Use a strong, unique password for every device and turn on 2-factor authentication whenever it's offered.
Okay, and the Senior Techie emphasizes one more tip, a really crucial one that most people skip. What is it?
This is the single most important thing you can do. Create a separate Wi-Fi network just for your IoT devices.
You mean like a guest network?
Exactly. It's called network segmentation. The reason is simple. That smart bulb you bought for $10 is way less secure than your main computer. If it gets hacked, the attacker is stuck on the guest network.
So they can't get to your main network with your computer, your phone, your financial data.
They're firewalled off. It's a simple setting on almost any modern router from your internet provider. It takes 5 minutes to set up, and it is the best security measure you can possibly take.
That is brilliant, actionable advice.
Right.
So to sum it all up for you, the listener, using this tech isn't about filling your home with gadgets. It's about strategically giving you peace of mind.
Right.
It can prevent those financially crushing disasters like floods. And most importantly, it offers real life-saving support when you're alone.
And that's really the core of it. Your home doesn't just become safer by accident. It becomes safer when you give it the ability to notice problems for you and to communicate those problems instantly. That really is the new foundation for safe, independent living.
This podcast was brought to you by The Senior Techie. If you'd like to keep up with their newsletters and podcasts, you can subscribe for free by going to theseniortechie.com.